Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This episode is brought to you by GSM Outdoors, whose vision is to preserve the sportsman's legacy, fuel innovation, and enable the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Think outside. That's where you'll find us. Now, make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We have a great show lined up for you today.
We sure do. It doesn't get any better than this, Jason.
I think
Mixing the outdoors and music.
Yeah, outdoors and music, and deer season is like a week away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to chat about the outdoors, music, and it's going to be fun. We got Mr. Josh Isenberg with us today, and we'll introduce him in a minute. But
So excited about this.
glad he's here. Don, do you have a radio station?
Yeah,
for us?
one of the radio stations that helps us get the word out is WSMR 1320 right there in Manchester. And you can hear us there Sunday mornings at 6:30.
All right.
So we appreciate them as well as our other radio partners.
We like to say 6 or 6:30, even maybe 5 or 5:30. That's sportsman's drive time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's right. Getting ready for church time, probably that spot.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. On your way to church or on your way to the lake or into the woods, whatever you're doing that day.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to radio partners for hosting Wildcast, and thank you all for watching and listening out there on social media, YouTube, the Spotify, or wherever you catch your podcasts. We just appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, Josh Isenberg is with us today, and he is an outdoorsman, audio engineer. It's a little bit different side of the music today that
It
we're
is,
talking about.
kind of the other side of the glass, so to speak.
He could probably teach us a few things on this podcast, make it sound a little better.
I got plenty to ask him after the show.
But hey, Josh, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. It's good to meet both of you. Obviously, Jason and I, you've met before, but it's good to meet you, Don.
Yeah, same here.
Really glad to be here and talking with like-minded people.
Yeah, and Josh does his homework too. I mean, he sent his photos and kind of support materials ahead of time, which never happens. You usually got to twist their arm after the fact,
That's what Jason said in the email. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Josh is great. We met, we got together one afternoon and chatted, and he came across, I guess, my Instagram channel, and
that's right.
And he'd been following the show and heard the show with Jimmy Herman is how he kind of found Wildcast.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
But I appreciated you reaching out and getting to chat a little while and get to know you a little bit, and now you're here. So,
of course.
Thank
you.
Tell folks a little bit about yourself. Did you grow up outdoors and that kind of thing?
Very much so. Yeah, from very early age, it was not to say it was mandatory, it just wasn't any other option. My brother and I were raised in rural Kentucky. My folks still live there, and my brother and them still live there. And it was just what you said the podcast was going to be about today. It's my childhood and whole life has been music and outdoors. Grew up a whole lot of squirrel hunting to start with, for sure. I mean, our first shotgun was a little breakdown 410 that my brother and I both got, and a box of shells, and we got sent in the woods to go get dinner.
There you go.
And kind of been living that way ever since, and learned a lot of good lessons by growing up in the woods, and spent our whole life deer hunting and rabbit hunting, some, a whole lot of fishing for sure.
Yeah.
But just from the beginning, it was always a source of food before it was just a sport.
Right.
And not to say that it's not a great version of both of those things, but the original intent was always
Put some food on the table.
Food on the table,
Yeah.
for sure. And we've carried that into our adulthood and now our parenting, and try to continue those traditions that some might think are lost, but I'm here to tell you that they're alive and well, and we're going to pass them down with all of our energy.
That's great.
That's cool. We're going to dive into those topics today. I look forward to digging even deeper. Outdoor time it's not just hunting. It's not just preparing for the table, but it's also family time, right?
Yeah, and that's the whole point of being able to show how fun it can be to a different generation, because that's how it was brought to us, and showing them how much I mean, there've always been plenty of dry fishing trips growing up and things like that, and we've all had those times when we wanted to come back with a full cooler and didn't.
That seems like too much for me. It's like all the time. I get some tips from somebody.
But just understanding the value of it, besides going out and trying to catch something and making it a job, it might be a goal in mind for sure, but the family aspect of it, just it gives you a full circle of I don't know, just there's some things we've talked about trying to turn some of this stuff into a business, like fishing guiding fishing trips and things like that, and had decided against it, just in the fact that sometimes things are better left alone, and left for the purest joy of why you do it. And as soon as you start trying to charge people to take them on an adventure, it's fun to do that, but I've gotten to the point where I just started taking people on adventures without trying to charge them, because it's more fun that way.
Oh yeah,
it's more fun, and I get paid back dividends by seeing people catch a fish or get to go hunting or do something that they've never done before. And that's a big gift to get back for what I feel like is a little bit of investment, an afternoon and some worms and a couple of fishing lines.
No, and it's great.
Cool.
It's the outdoors is a social sport too. I mean, people want to do it with others, and enjoy it and share it with others. So it's so much more fun fishing with a buddy,
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking to kids and getting the family out, it's a great time for those conversations that. Just to have conversations with your family. Things come out and conversations get going and questions get asked. It's good quality time.
Yeah, very much so. And you're talking about the beginning of deer season. I mean, we're coming up on Labor Day with dove season and all that stuff as well. And that's a big start to the social aspect of fall hunting season. Everybody gets together and hangs out in the field and shoots some doves, and then you normally end up at someone's house at the end of the night in a fish fry or a barbecue or something like that. And those times obviously are just as important as trying to harvest your limit in the field. Obviously it's a lot more than just that.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt. Well, Josh hinted at it. We're recording this show just coming up on Labor Day and early dove season. But if you're listening to it, you're hearing it right about a week before the deer season. So I hope y'all are going to go out and enjoy archery season this year. And I'm looking forward to getting out with my son and trying to chase a few deer around, but I'll get my daughter out there too if she wants to, but she hadn't showed that much interest yet. But Josh, tell us a little bit about what you do when you're not outside. I think it's a really cool side of things. We got to hit the music stuff here. So
Sure.
When you told me what you did, I was like, man, that's very cool. So
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Yeah, share that with some folks or with everybody listening.
So my normal capacity, I guess my professional capacity in the music business, is a production manager and front of house engineer, a live mixing engineer. And I've done that, had the good fortune of doing that for a couple of people that you probably know of, you've heard of before. But first and foremost, a long-standing Western swing band in Nashville named the Time Jumpers. And their reputation and name speaks for themselves, especially in this region. But I've had a good fortune of working with them for 13 years, and have learned a lot being around those guys, and as well as Vince Gill's tour. And so that's I've done both of those jobs for both bands, and there's been a lot of cross pollination between members in the Time Jumpers and members in Vincent's band over the years, and Vince was a member of the Time Jumpers for about 10 years, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And the band obviously existed for several years before them. So I came in as kind of a young audio student. I was going to school at the time, and started as a production assistant on Vince's tour when I was 19, and that was back in 2011. I'm 33 now.
Yeah.
And kind of just did every job that there was to do. And I suppose, I'm not putting any words in anyone's mouth, but I suppose they saw that I had a certain tenacity for work ethic, and I wasn't gonna fail at whatever they gave me, and so much so of putting too much on my shoulders and having to backpedal out of some responsibilities here and there. But they being a part of both of those groups and in between all of it is shaped who I am as a person and as a man, for sure. I've had the good fortune of being what I tell people is I've been a younger cat in a house full of seasoned cats, and I've paid attention. That's the only thing else I could say, is that I've learned the education that I have from being around those people, and the quality of people that they all are is what shaped me and in this professional setting for sure. So I get the pleasure of mixing that group, and I learned a lot about what I do with Vince's band these days, and kind of cut my teeth and learned my chops by mixing the Time Jumpers over the years. And we've toured that band in different entities and things like that as well. So it's been a great journey so far, and the journey is continuing, and I've got a really, really great education from the people I've been able to work with.
Well, good for you, because it's so competitive, especially in this day and time in Nashville.
It is.
When you were starting back then, as you said, you joined in, you picked up, you did whatever needed to be done. We weren't asking, hey, I'm above this. You got to do what you got to do, and people recognize that.
Very much so.
Especially in the music business, when you get somebody who's valuable like yourself, and hey, good for you to be able to move up and
Thank you.
run in the front of a house. Wow,
Yes, sir.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. Don and I both are musicians and been in the engineering seat many times on
Yeah.
different projects and things. And you do. It can be a tough job sometimes. And
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
I try not to downplay it, but or be a poor workman blaming his tools or anything. But yes, it can be challenges for sure. Different rooms, different PAs,
Yeah.
all that stuff, and still having to offer a sonic quality with that every day is therein lies the challenge for sure.
the pressure is real because I mean, why is that mic not working, or why does that sound
Big
like
time.
and
Okay, I don't want to get down in the weeds too far.
Oh, no,
but
by all means.
you kind of brought it up there. I was thinking to myself, leading up to this show today. I was going to ask Josh, how in the world do you deal with all the different kinds of consoles that you have to be familiar with and get to know in short order?
That was one of the things that I gained a really trial by fire, I would imagine the type of term you would use for that, or just being able to use whatever you had resources with. When we were touring with the Time Jumpers, it was an 11-piece Western Swing band, right?
Right, yeah.
And it was backline and everything was under the bus, so they were just carrying amps. We didn't have any microphones, so from venue to venue, I had a different console, a different set of microphones, a different PA, and a different room.
Right.
And so I had 4 variables instead of when you're traveling on a normal tour. Well, not a normal tour, but a tour that facilitates gear. That we were traveling really bare bones as best we could, and going in and having to tweak everything you can from scratch,
right,
to start, and having to put that band on, as big of a band as that is, and doing that from night to night when we were on tour at the time. That's what I mean by I could definitely cut my teeth with them, because that's where I got all the experience with learning different consoles and this and that. Luckily, these days when we tour, we carry our own consoles with us.
That's good.
So we were able to actually build our show files, go into rehearsal, and have everything a little closer to set and ready before we take it out on tour.
Sure.
And that helps a lot. But I've definitely I've paid my dues going into venues and having to put a band on as big as that one is from scratch every day. That's where you get your education. Either the show happens or not, but it's kind of on your shoulders to make it happen. So I had to learn how to make it happen.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, let's jump into some outdoor talk here, and a couple of key points that we wanted to bring home or put, share today along the lines of hunting and deer hunting. And you talk about paying close attention, and you wanted to share that today, but how you equate audio and music and hunting and paying close attention.
Yeah. So you asked me about how I grew up, and growing up in the woods, I'm sure this story would resonate with a lot of people listening that talk about, especially getting excited for hunting season. I grew up with a camping chair and an old Russian-style bolt-action wartime rifle. It was a 7.62 model that my dad bought a pair of them at an auction, and I think for probably like $75 a piece. Old iron sights, World War II. It still had old emblems on it. And so that was my first deer rifle. So that and a camping chair and a field on our 25 acres that I grew up on in Kentucky was how it started. And Dad only told us 2 things: aim straight, stay quiet. And I listened. I listened to him, and what he means by that is don't make a shot you can't trust because you want to have a quick kill.
Mm-hmm. Humane every time, and just learning to be quiet in the woods in general. And that's probably because he had two rambunctious boys and he wanted to teach them how to be quieter in the woods. But it's those types of lessons that if you look back, they resonate with you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one that always resonated with me. So the telling you that in the points of what I was wanting to emphasize is I feel like they go hand in hand more than I realized. And I kind of thought about this more by talking to other people recently about it. And the whole concept that I've come to understand is that I learned how to do one job by first learning the other. Both of them require being quiet and listening.
And listening, yeah.
Listening, especially. That's why you got two ears and one mouth, right?
Exactly.
So I took all that stuff to heart, and when you're in the woods like that, and there's no music, there's no crickets, it's just, especially in the early morning, it gives me cold chills thinking about opening morning when it's cold outside, you see your breath, and you're just hoping to see a little bit of movement in the tree line as soon as the daylight comes in. I mean, I'm getting cold chills now talking about it, man. It gets you every time. And just understanding the difference between a twig breaking and hearing that across the field or in the woods or however far away you could hear it, and understanding if that's a squirrel or if it's a deer tromping through the woods or if it's just a twig falling out of the tree. But you learn to hear the little differences in those sounds and understand if something's coming or not.
Or get really frustrated because those squirrels. Every time, man, you think it's the monster that you've been waiting on, and like, nope, two gray squirrels over there chasing each other and foiled again. Yeah, for sure. No, you talk about the cold chills. I mean, I get chills whether it's a buck or a doe walking in. You
Every
see it
time.
coming. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Every time.
The excitement's still there every time.
Yep.
How do you prepare for the season? What are some ways that you get ready for getting out there and being ready for the season?
Well, to start, it might not be what you think. It's I start watching all my favorite hunting shows.
Get you fired up, right?
Get you fired up, man. You wake up in the morning, you get your coffee and things, and it's like, all right, let's go through the highlight reels of my favorite ones. And it's especially in the early season when we're all kind of gearing up, and that was another thing that kind of brings you back to childhood. That's what we did. We would sit in the living room and everybody have a towel that they would lay down so they were going to clean their gun, and we would sit there and put on the outdoor channel and everybody would clean their gun together.
Nice, yeah.
And that was one of the little family traditions that we did. To just, I don't know, just get you in the right mindset for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like putting up your Christmas lights before Christmas. It's the same feeling.
Yeah.
Just the anticipation of those activities.
Nowadays, with all the great YouTube content, I mean, you can watch hunting all year long.
Yeah.
And with folks like Seek One and some of those guys that are out there doing it right, you know, it's really cool to watch and get kind of fired up and ready to go, you know.
Big time. And that's the cool thing about the platforms that we have these days too. There's a lot more aspects of hunting that get showcased these days that might not have necessarily been the highlight or the emphasis on the shows that I was growing up watching.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and not to discount those, because every content has its place, but it was a lot of, you know, growing up watching a lot of bow hunting and a lot of trophy hunting and things on TV. It was all about, you know, the stalk and then the picture at the end with the big trophy, and that's
A lot of whispering.
it's all great stuff. It's all great stuff. And but I appreciate the fact that there are content platforms that are showing a more comprehensive aspect from beginning to finish. Because I grew up watching those shows, and I'd look at Dad and say, hey, where's the rest of it?
Because you're used to getting hands-on.
Well, exactly right. Yeah. And that's exactly how we were raised. We spent years, you know, helping Dad process the meat before we ever got a chance to shoot one of our own. And
Well, that's a good transition. It's important to utilize all the kill, right? And,
very much so.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And then just touch on that a little bit. I know it's near and dear to your heart. You've already touched on it.
Yeah, and I'll try to say it without getting all sentimental and emotional about it. And it's a concept that I've curated. I know everybody can relate to this, especially if they grew up with the hunting passion in their families. But it's the term that I've coined off of my dad's teachings. He never used this term, but I've just thought a lot about it over the years, and I've just tried to put words to the philosophies that he never really wrote down or anything, but it's just what I took from it. And so I've learned to call it earning the trigger.
Wow. Yeah.
And to explain what that means, it's there's a melancholy that comes with taking a life of an animal always, and the ones that have done it for years or grew up doing it understand what I'm talking about. It's trying to maybe explain to people that didn't grow up with this lifestyle what it means to harvest an animal and utilize the meat properly, and it's not what they think, you know. And being able to articulate that has been kind of a goal of mine. So earning the trigger is the concept that I built out of the ideas that Dad raised us on. It's talking about how, you know, from 6 years old, so I shot my first deer. It was a button buck with that rifle I told you about. Yeah. I think I was 12 or 13 when the first time I shot one. But from 6 years old to that time, Dad had us with boning knives out in the yard with the deer hung up, and he would start working on one side and we'd work on the other, and we'd meet in the middle. You know? So he'd show us how to take the back strap out, and we'd take the back strap out on the other side. He'd show us how to take a shoulder off, and we took the other shoulder off. And it was that for years and years and years before we ever got a chance to take a life of our own.
So you earned
harvest our own, very much so.
Yep.
So that's the idea behind it. But I think he did that just to emphasize the importance of why you are taking the life of an animal.
Yeah.
And that it's not a bloodthirst to be quenched.
Yeah.
It's much more, it is deeper than that, especially for the ones of us that really do care about the animals and taking the meat from them, for sure. It's a respect thing. And he taught us that at a very young age, my brother and I both, and it stuck deep.
That's neat.
And we treat that, our fish and anything that we process that we have to kill or dispatch or whatever. We have my wife is actually helping our neighbor process some chickens this afternoon. So she said, "You can help me when you get back home."
I may be in town a while, but no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go hang out with a couple more friends before I get back. But that's the idea behind it, and it's just to nail home the self-reliance that and the. When you use the word pride, people think of pride as a bad thing, but there is a good version of pride, a wholesome pride that comes with earning something yourself and doing something yourself, and all of that ties into that feeling of self-reliance, and being able to do something like that is what makes us human. Yeah, in a lot of ways, and it's not celebrating anything about killing an animal. It's really just celebrating what the animal gives you.
Right.
And when you see people celebrating, like they killed a big buck or whatever animal that they're excited about, I feel like that's where the root of that excitement comes from. And yeah, it's great to have a big trophy. It's this and that, but that's the other side of it too. I grew up with the term, you can't eat antlers. You know.
Well, sometimes those bigger deer are the harder ones to get.
Exactly.
They're smarter than most of them.
They get big for a reason, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a huge accomplishment to be able to take one of those, or get to one of those,
Yeah. Yeah. But and that's the same thing too. Like we when we go fishing, we catch bait fish and we put live fish on lines. Sure. And just to equate that to hunting, if you can't get excited about a doe or a button buck or whatever it is you're able to harvest, if you can't be excited about that, then you might not be able to understand the excitement of killing a big buck. And I think it takes time in the trenches to understand what it takes to actually harvest a large animal like that. It's not easy at all, especially with all the hunting competition that we have these days. It's a lot, but the freezer trophies are way more important than wall trophies, in my opinion.
It's really cool to be able to share that. And I kind of relate it just to share the table with your son or your daughter or whoever you've hunted with, and taking it off the grill and taking it to the table, and you're like, man, we did this together. We harvested this. We've processed it. And now it's here. We're putting it in our body to make us healthy or keep us sustained, and it's just kind of a cool full circle right there.
Very much so. Yes.
But I appreciate you sharing your passion on that, and just you're passing it on to your kids now. I mean, you got your kids out there catching fish, hunting and all kinds of stuff, and maybe killing chickens too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rachel said that I'm going to put the baby on my back and go help him kill chickens this afternoon. That's a direct quote from my wife.
She appreciates you sharing that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she'll get a laugh out of this when she hears it. But she's a proud outdoors woman as well. And
So how did you meet your wife?
oh man, how much time you got?
About 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll make it quick. My wife, we met in band camp of all places. I was buddies with her brother at the time when we were in freshmen in high school, something like that, and 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
And I was doing my normal thing. I was going hunting and fishing on the weekends or whenever we were home from band competitions and things like that. And she was the middle child of a tomboy older brother, and so she didn't get to do a lot of the things that big brother got to do. And she grew up with a hunger doing that.
Oh,
so
wow.
when she saw me doing all the things that I was doing as a teenager, she's like, I'm going to start hanging out with him. And we've kind of been at the hip since we were about 14 years old.
Nice.
And
wow.
done a lot of this stuff together. And she's worked in butcher shops before and things like that too, and gotten actual professional experience where I'm a little more of the backwoods training that I've tried to refine over the years. But she's actually had some professional training. So we've and she's also before she became stay-at-home mom with our children, she was a professional baker for years and years, and did decorated cakes and artwork cakes and things like that. So once we started having kids, we transitioned into trying to figure out businesses on our own, and so she just transferred her medium from cakes to meat, and we've started this business together.
What a great combination.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Love it.
Yeah, I like that. She saw what you were doing. It's like, I want to be a part of that.
Well, she loves it as much as I do. She really does, and she's well, excuse my language. She's one hell of a woman. She really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe I'd look forward to meeting your family someday. You know?
Of course, we're gonna make that happen for sure.
That's we need to go fishing and maybe do some hunting together or something like that. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Tour's over and the fall is upon us, and it's time to get in the woods.
Congrats on that tour too. I heard it was very successful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they just wrapped up, and now it's time to get outside, and I'm sure you'll be firing back up to get back on the road as the year moves through. But thanks for sharing your passion with us today. Thanks for sharing your story and,
yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Your adventures. It's been fun.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Don, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is Tennessee WildCast. Keep coming back. Keep watching. Keep listening. Hey, reminder, the hunting guide is out there, so check your hunting guide for all season dates and information. Not a lot has changed this year, but it's time to review that and get outdoors. So we appreciate you all out there, and we'll see you next time.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at gooutdoorstennessee.com. That's gooutdoorstennessee.com.